Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is staying warm. I was told it's cold in Charlotte too. It's like there are flurries right now. That's what somebody told me when I looked online. I didn't see any flurries, but hey, it's Tuesday, and as you know, we go live almost every Tuesday. Well, most Tuesdays. 8 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you so much for taking your time out to join us this Tuesday evening for a very interesting discussion. Um, so I came to Houston. Well, I should let more people join, but I just want to get to the point because I know when people join in later, it could be a lot of rambling in the beginning. So I'll just get started for the people that watch it on the replay. So the title of this is coming up as this, but I don't think that's the title. The title is Top 3 Reasons I'm Not Moving to Houston, Texas. Here it says why I'm not moving to Houston, Texas. I changed it up, trying to be SEO friendly. So I'm going to talk about 3 things, 3 issues I have with Houston, Texas. I've been here probably this is like my eighth or ninth, 10th time, like how Ngozi has been to Charlotte. I actually have been to Houston quite a few times, but this is the longest I've stayed and done stuff. I've stayed longer before, but I wasn't really doing much.
Sorry.
So I can't really count that time when I came 2 years ago in April and I stayed about a week. So usually with Houston, it's like flying on Friday, run out on Sunday, not a lot of time. You're coming in late Friday, sometimes even almost Saturday morning, then you're leaving Sunday. It's not enough time to really explore and do things. I can definitely say that I feel as if this length was good, and that's why sometimes y'all need to take PTO to still travel within America and to still do local
A
stuff.
weekend's not enough.
A weekend's not enough. It's just I don't at this point as in 2020, I'm not doing those in and out trips. I'm not doing it. Like unless maybe it's I don't know, maybe if it's like a wedding or like a real specific thing happening. But if I'm not doing those, it's just too tiring. So I've been in Houston since Friday. Today's Tuesday. I plan to leave tomorrow. As you all know, it's snow today. So my flight, all this other stuff going on. So, wow, we got people in here already. Wow, y'all
Hi,
really want to talk about Houston,
everyone. Make
Texas?
sure y'all like this video, subscribe as you watch. I'm Ngozi. It's confusing. We're actually together today. So I'm Ngozi. I'm based in Houston, Texas. Next month makes 3 years. I've been in Houston, Texas. That's crazy. Time really flies.
Really
And this
crazy.
one is
My name is Nnena. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been there almost 5 years now. And for y'all to know our backstory real quick, I'm not gonna make it long for y'all. We getting new subscribers, and y'all like our matching outfits. Shout out to AFRM.
mine is a shirt, hers is a
Dress.
dress.
I love them, but they can be a little pricey. Need to sponsor us, but anyway. So I moved to Charlotte in 2020, summer, August of 2020. I was in New Jersey. We're both living together. I was tired of New Jersey. I actually quit my job December of 2019 with no job lined up. And the way God works, things just plan. So something I do get it, but I think the older I get, I'm a bit more nervous about moving the way I did because back then I was living at home.
Right.
I didn't have real bills,
Right.
right? So I could be a little bit more risque. So things worked out perfectly for me the way I moved to Charlotte. And I just pray with my next move that God aligns it that way to the point I just felt forced. Right. It was almost like I kept delaying. It was December, and the pandemic happened. I kept pushing it, pushing it. I was like, I signed the lease in May for August. I need to get out of here. I need to move. So I moved almost 5 years ago. I'm at a transition point right now that I really feel as if um, I need more than Charlotte, North Carolina, right? I feel like I do need to make a move. However, I don't want to rush. I want to have a job lined up. And I actually want to move somewhere like I like, right? Even if I'm not crazy about it, I don't think I'm going to be crazy about anywhere at this point. Moving in general is just kind of like whatever. But it also can be very exciting, right? I feel like when you move for a purpose and you move really, really, when you do it right, I feel like moving can be exciting. But I don't want to just throw myself somewhere, running around, looking for a job, getting acclimated, spending all this money, and just be like, I think that's also what messes up people's experience. We see all these videos. I moved to Houston, I hate it. I moved to Charlotte, it's gross. I moved here, I want to move back. I feel as if like moving is something that you can do on a whim, but it's a lot. It really, really is a lot for you to like like just uproot your life and start over, especially if you don't have family there, you don't have friends there. I understand why people keep delaying, but it comes to a point you just gotta do what you gotta do. So I was like, okay, let me just come to Houston this weekend because I took the whole week off. Fine, I really, really needed it. And I'm just like, I need to travel. I need to, spend some time. I want to look at some stuff and just figure out maybe if this is the year that I'm going to do it. I thought in my mind, oh, maybe I'll do it next month. Definitely not happen next month. Too much going on. But there were things about Houston that really, really surprised me. And I think it kind of solidified why I always say, like, I'm just not that crazy about Houston. Like, it's been like this for years. I've been coming to people be like, oh my God, if I had a twin living in Houston, I would live there. If I had a sister living in Houston, I'll be there every month. I'll be there every 2 months. Blah, 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 blah. And I just never could relate when people said that. So I feel as if this trip kind of solidified some things that I'm not that crazy about. Would I still move to Houston? I could. I don't think I would be miserable, but I think what makes it harder is moving somewhere you don't really care about. Like somewhere that you're in, and then you don't have nothing there, right? It's not like, okay, there's a job waiting for you, or there's this waiting for you. Just kind of like, let me just move. And especially when you're coming from a place that you don't hate. You're coming from a place that you're comfortable. You're coming from a place that you actually like. Like, I actually do enjoy Charlotte, North Carolina. I just feel like it's just slow, and I just feel like some of the things I want are just never going to be there anytime soon, right? I feel like it has everything I need, but not everything I want, and I want to live in a place that's everything I need and want. And I feel as I would get that more living in certain cities in Texas, for sure. So, okay, so that was a little spiel. So, number one reason I would say right now I'm not moving to Houston, Texas, is that I'll be spending more for an apartment than I am right now in Charlotte, North Carolina. And let me give you some backstory. It's not just because Charlotte's more affordable, which I do think in Charlotte, North Carolina, you get more for your money. But I also think it's that I moved at a time that I kind of got grandfathered in. So my rent, oh, thank you, Mia.
Excuse me, I'm trying to.
She doing a lot. Do that real quick. Stop distracting my viewers. Hurry up and post that so you won't be distracting the viewers. So let me share it with someone real quick too, because I know people comment since like, oh, it's very distracting when y'all looking on your phone. So I really don't like doing it. So I'm done. So what was I gonna say? Charlotte, I feel like Charlotte, North Carolina, you could. I was shocked. Like, even like, Ngozi has what do they call them?
A locator.
A locator. We could put her information in the bio. She's so cool. So we went and looked at some stuff on Saturday. She gave me a popping list of 1-bedroom apartments, and the prices, my mouth was on the floor. I was like, huh? For Houston? For some reason in my mind, I thought moving to Houston, Texas, I'm going to get more affordability. I wouldn't think that Houston, Texas would be more expensive than Charlotte, North Carolina. I really wouldn't, because I'm like, okay, it's bigger. Like, to me, I look at it like kind of more southern, more. I just wouldn't think it would even be comparable. Talk less of costing more.
But I have to. I'm gonna come and give my rebuttal to the statements. But let me listen.
So the number one reason, Houston's just too expensive. I feel like I can't move to pay more. And granted, with the low, I think it'll balance out with the no state income tax. But I was like, wow, I was really shocked at the price of Houston, Texas. That's number one. We're gonna go into deep detail with all these points. So I'm just making the 3 points. So number one, the reason why I'm not moving to Houston right now is expensive. Number 2 point, I'm not moving to Houston, Texas. I don't like the layout. Okay. I feel as if I'm going to be paying $2,000 for 1-bedroom apartment, there's certain things I expect. There's a certain environment and a vibe I expect. I don't expect to pay $2,000 a month and walk out, and it's basically, it's like the nice parts of Houston are just a bit too gentrified for me. And I get it. Charlotte has that issue with Uptown, but it's not all of Charlotte. It's not all of the nice areas of Charlotte. I feel like in Houston, like the areas that are considered uppity, like nice, what did you talk about? The River Oaks. Like, I'm saying, huh? This area looks sketchy. Like, I feel like the nice areas of Houston, to me, that have all the expensive apartments, don't look safe. So it's like, why would I pay $2,000 plus to be in an environment that doesn't seem safe to me? And that's tied into the crime. There's safety and crime. Like, here you hear about the tires, hear about this, whatever. Crime is everywhere, but Houston, I think, is a little bit on another level. Number 3 reason, I will say that I'm not moving to Houston, Texas, at least right now. So I said affordability. I said number 1 was affordability. Number 2 was,
you said about is it the layout? You said
the layout. And also, I guess I can include in that the homelessness issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's everywhere, but I guess I didn't realize it was that bad in Houston. So I'm also noticing that, like, in neighborhoods that are supposed to be like really nice and ritzy and they're expensive, there's a lot of homeless people. Everything Sam rebuttal, because these all the things you're saying are not things that I haven't made videos telling people about
about Houston, Texas, things that surprised me, what I wish I knew before moving to Houston, Texas. Watch this before you move to Houston, Texas. If you're thinking about moving, you gotta watch our Houston, Texas playlist, because people will say, "Oh, you didn't do your research," but there's a lot of things. Even her being here, how many times she's acting like she's discovering some things. I'm just like, no, this is not your first time coming to Houston. Why are you still like she said? Because she's in and out, sits at home, doesn't want to go out, so she's seeing Houston with a different lens now. So you got to visit. You have to watch our videos. We're doing all the hard work for you. You can't say you didn't know. Nobody told you. The content wasn't out there. Just watch the Houston, Texas plays if you're considering moving to Houston, Texas.
Right. So I want to say I definitely would, but these are things that are just main things. And then number 3, I would say we just start arguing about this because she always want to bring. I'm not bringing up Atlanta. We're not talking about Atlanta right now. I just feel like Houston's kind of, what's the word I want to be appropriate? What's the word?
Urban?
Yeah, like I feel like it's just, I don't feel like, I feel like it's a bit like ratchet. When I say like ratchet, when I say because urban's not necessarily a bad thing. I just feel like it's not like,
It's not classy.
yeah, like, yeah. And I'm not saying Charlotte is the most, because I have these issues with Charlotte, North Carolina too. But I just feel like Houston's kind of, I just call Raz, what I call it, like, I just feel like, there's a lot of pretending here. Like there's a lot of like everyone's trying to, content creative, classy, this, that. I live in a high rise, I do this, but I just feel like deep down, like it's not that. It's not that. Even the zoning we talked about in a lot of videos. I'm just like, why does it look so weird down here? And I realized the zoning that people have been talking about in our videos. I'm like, yeah, like it just doesn't. It's not scenic.
Same like Atlanta.
It's not pretty. And of course, those are, and I still will move somewhere if it's not scenic or pretty. But it actually, this trip made me realize and value things about Charlotte or North Carolina in a general that I feel like I took for granted or I never really paid attention to. Like North Carolina is beautiful, beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, like there's so many things there, like from the wineries to the mountains to the beaches. Like it's so beautiful. Like Houston, I feel like Houston, you coming here for a reason. You come in here with a purpose. Like whether your family is here, whether you come in here to start a business, you come in here. But I feel like unless you're just like into nightlife and stuff, which we talk about that, like that's not why I'm moving to any city. I'm not moving to any city because of nightlife, but I definitely understand social life is important. And I definitely understand why people want to gravitate towards bigger cities because they feel like there's more to do and there's more events, right? And the thing I like about like Houston and even Atlanta is that like living here, Dallas, there's real events. Like there's real network things, there's mixers, there's conferences happening all the time here. Like there's actual real events. And I definitely feel like that's something that Charlotte, North Carolina lacks.
Okay, you done with your statement? Okay. You done with the 3 stuff?
Yeah, name my 3 stuff. Okay. Make sure you understand
so
the
the
3
first
stuff.
one, she said about the costs. If you watch some of our videos, even the video I just put out this month, the first video that went out the first week of January, I talk about how Houston is not cheap. People have this perception. That's Houston 2015, maybe even 2019, maybe even 2020, 2021. It's 2025. Houston is not cheap. You're not coming here with $1,000 and thinking you're getting a luxury apartment in 2025. The difference I feel like, I can explain to my sister is that the way Houston is set up is very different from the way that Charlotte is set up, in the sense that Houston has like their main areas, I guess the areas that are like, I guess kind of higher brow or like close to the city. But at the same time, a lot like, let's say like Montrose or River Oaks or like Midtown, those type of areas where a lot of people want to live to be close to stuff. But at the same time, most people, especially like Houstonians, they don't really live in these areas. Like they live more like in just
that's Charlotte too. That's any major city. So I think the city area is full of transplants.
So the point I'm trying to make is that number one, you have to remember that Houston is a bigger city than Charlotte. So yes, it's in the South. Yes, it's in the South, but Houston is a bigger city. So the way you're thinking, like, oh, you're going to come here just because it's more southern. A lot of people, it's the 4th largest city, almost about to be a lot of people are here. So there's a lot in the downtown. You have Minute Park, you have this or that. People are paying more to be proximal, and the traffic here is really bad.
Right, that's things.
So if you're someone that you want to work, your office is downtown. Right. You're not gonna. You don't like yourself if you want to go and live in our.
But I guess I'm thinking about the value. Like for me, it's like.
And listen, like I said, let me finish off the major city part, because a major city, these issues talk about like location and cost, and like kind of tying you to number 2, like the layout, and you going out like seeing homeless people. That's how major cities are. Whether it's LA, whether it's New York, whether it's that, like the way you think is because you're in a smaller city. But major cities, I asked my cousin who's in LA who pays a lot for where she lives, a beautiful location. Do you
But
see
we know
homeless people
LA, but
outside your
even
place? She said
Charlotte has
yes.
a homeless
Well, I'm trying to
issue.
explain to you. You haven't been there. So I'm trying to explain to you that the idea of like, oh, there's homeless people so around you, so that means that you're not necessarily living in a nice area. That's like
I never said
I'm not
that.
saying that's what you said, but I'm saying the idea that you're correlating because you see homeless people around the area that is not high, quote unquote, like a prime area. That's the case with every major city.
But it's levels.
There's major, yeah, like New York, there's levels.
There's
People will be
levels.
paying $5,000 an apartment, and literally there's homeless people right in front of them
Yeah,
because
because it's gentrification.
right, yeah, like the
Mhm.
point you're making, yeah, like these people have been technically pushed out. I talked about one of the most shocking things about moving to Houston, Texas was a homelessness issue. I didn't know that. You know, I think of homelessness issue, I think of like LA, I think of New York City, but I didn't think even when I was my first apartment wasn't in the city, it was very far out, and there was homeless people on my street. They were at the bus stop. People are saying it's located towards there's homeless people in the Woodlands. That's a homelessness issue, and that's one of the top areas, the top suburbs in Houston. So it's not even just a city thing. There's a lot of homeless people. That's something that she said, yeah, like it's just something that's with any major city is going to be something that you're going to experience. That's why some people don't like cities.
Yeah.
That's why some people don't want to be in the city. They want to be in the suburb because they don't want to walk out and see that. You know what I mean? Not to say these people are any less better than us. You know, they're still humans. I walk by. I know them now. I help them out when I can. But it's like I totally understand someone saying like, why would I pay all this money and I walk out and I have to look right and have to look left? Like that's not what I want. But I'm saying that's the issue that is not specific to Houston. Is an issue specific to just major cities in general. That's just how it is in major cities. So that's you said number one about the cost. Like I said, yeah, Houston's a bigger city. A lot of people are here. A lot of people are moving here. So everything is supply and demand, right?
Mhm.
So that's a big factor. The fact that there's a lot of people here, so they can charge these prices.
Everyone wants to live in Houston,
right?
Atlanta.
Everyone wants to be in the highs. Remember that these prices. Remember, Houston post-pan, everything. A lot of things have changed. Houston used to be affordable. Like I said, even when I moved almost 3 years ago, and now I've seen a significant difference in pricing of everything. And I'm just like, it's only been 3 years. So I can only imagine how it was in 2019 or 2015, like the real Houston, when
Mhm.
everyone's running down here and buying homes and things are affordable. You can $1,000 can get you a good place. But now, literally, but you have to remember also as Houston's becoming more expensive, New York is becoming more expensive. LA is becoming more expensive. So everywhere is getting more expensive. It's just that it's just not as cheap as it used to be. The other thing about the layout, like I said, is not, I will admit, Houston's not a pretty city. There's only a few places I would drive around. It looks nice. Some parts, like you'll see, like on the highway, you'll see like the skyline, like some little cute views, but Houston's not scenic. It's not, we don't have beaches. We don't have like, there's nothing you're really coming here to see but the water wall. Like, yeah, we have like a few things, but it's not really like that scenic vibe. I feel like you have to kind of like drive out or like go to maybe an
Travel.
hour or two, you'll have, because Texas is a big state. So it's not in Houston, but you can drive through, even go like an hour north, you start seeing we have a lot of land. So you don't have to go too far. But yeah, Houston's not really a scenic city. It's not. Number three, about it kind of being, I get it. Because even you say people say back then Houston wasn't like this. I don't know where there's a lot of people moving in. I don't know if it's about the party culture, the way
Mhm.
section culture has become a big thing. There's spots in Houston that are popular that I've never been to. I'm picky. Anyone that knows me, I'm very picky when it comes to going out. And I think, like you said, I don't know how to say this without saying this. I don't think this is a Houston issue. I think it's an issue with some Black establishments. I just think that it's very easy for places to once you start adding all that hookah, you start making it just changes
All the rap music.
yeah, it just changes the aesthetic of a place. So that's what I've been noticing. I say all the time. Me personally, if you ask me where to go in Houston, what do I like to do? I like a mixed crowd. I'm not someone that feels that because I'm Black, I need to go to everything that's Black. I need to hear Nigerian music everywhere I go. I need to be around all Black people. It's nice. I'm not anti-Black, I'm a Black person. But I've noticed the crowds and the places that I feel more comfortable in, that I like the vibe more, they have more of a mixed crowd. I'm not really into a lot of these spots that are very popular because I just feel like sometimes they just bring a certain crowd and I'm not really into it. I'll go there here and there. They're having an event. Yeah, I'm not too big to go. I'm not too important. But I've noticed when it comes to going out, there's certain places I don't really care for. I'm not comfortable to going to. And I've noticed a lot of them are these popular like Black spots because of the crowd. So yeah, like how you feel is valid. Like I say all the time, I live in Houston. I like it. I don't plan on moving anytime soon. But will I say I'm going to live in Houston forever? No. My mother and father are not here. You know what I mean? Like I work remotely. I could technically live wherever I want. It's just I would need a reason to up and move and be like, yeah, I'm going somewhere else. I haven't been to Austin yet. I'm going to get there. You know, I've been saying every year I'm going to get there. I'm going to get to the other parts in Texas. But I say, like, you know, a lot of times, even one of our lives that went really, really well, did really well, is like the Houston versus Dallas. You know, they're the two places that are compared to a lot because, of course, like they're the two major cities in Texas. Even we made a video and there was like a long thread of comments, people like comparing the two, which one is better. I even have a video on my watch later about don't move to Dallas, don't move to Houston, why I would pick one over the other. And they are different. I've never lived in Dallas, but I've been to Dallas a lot of times. A lot of times. I can understand why some people would prefer Dallas. Dallas seems a little more chill. It's a little cooler. You know, Houston is very hot. It's a little bit more expensive. It's a different vibe for sure. But I think that when it comes down to just moving, period, I think that people have to be real about what's really important to them and just manage your expectations because nowhere is perfect. Everywhere has its issues. There's no place you're going to move me now that I'm going to like. There's no place you're actually right now because where do you want to move to in America that I would be even like that I'm even excited about, even thinking about going to? There's not one place that I visited before.
But you're excited about moving to Houston, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, but I'm saying now that I'm in Houston, there's no place that you would tell me right now. Oh, where do you see yourself living in next? I'd be like, oh yeah, I would want to live here, or I would consider there none. And it's not because there's no other good places or there's not places that are even better than where I am. I think it's just a part of getting older and realizing that
And wanting stability.
yeah, for the most part, everything's the same. Like it's not that. Of course, I don't want to go to live in some rural back end country farm. I don't want to go live in the middle of nowhere. But like a lot of these cities, they're very similar.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. It's just some little differences here and there. Some are bigger, some are smaller. But nowhere is perfect. No, and I say it all the time. That's why I'm like I feel as if strongly before you move anywhere, you need to visit it, even visit it more than once. Because every time you come somewhere, you get a different feel. You stay in a different area.
But at least once is fine.
Yeah, at least once. Do your research and be real about what's important to you. If you're someone that you really
Love the beaches.
yeah, don't come to Houston.
Yeah.
You need to be in New Jersey. You need to be in maybe Florida, Miami area.
North Carolina's not bad. South Carolina's not bad either.
Yeah,
there's
like
a lot of travelable. It's
yeah,
just, I'm like this, but we're gonna do it this year.
even in Jersey, I barely went to the beach. So I like the beach, but it wasn't something that's like, oh, I need to live by the beach. Some people need to be by the water.
Right.
Like it's a big thing for them. Don't move to Houston because it's not here. Galveston, I went there once. I don't have any interest ever going there again. It's not it. It's not here.
You said it's not.
It's not here. So you have to be real about what's important to you and why you're going.
Or you're someone that wants to start a business. You might want to move to Houston.
Yeah,
you want to be somewhere we're going to not have state income tax. Obviously, we only have a few states to choose from because only a few states do that, right? Yep. So you have to be real. So let's go through our comments because y'all are just, they're hyping us in the comment section. So we have to thank them.
Say, yes, God is going to align it. It may not be Houston, it may not be Charlotte, maybe a new place we move to
That'll
together.
Be fun.
Hi, blessing. Hi, thank you.
Hi, Miss Lovely, the scientist. Okay.
Yes. Should we go through the comments for me? We're gonna get back to your question. I agree with the statement. What statement was that about Houston? I think it's when you say Houston is being a little rough. I agree that Houston is very fake bougie. It's pretentious. People, there's an argument though about where the more Black people have money, Dallas or Houston. People say that Dallas,
that's old money.
I don't know. Houston is yes. People are very into the flashy lifestyle. I told you when I first went to the mall, went to Galleria, see the lines of people waiting to buy designer bags. I'm just not used to that from where I'm from. Houston is very pretentious, but despite all of that, people are still doing very well here. And that's the reason why a lot of people flock here. It's very entrepreneurs. There are a lot of entrepreneurs, very business friendly. You get motivated. Just walking around just makes you want to hustle. That's what I'm talking about. Charlotte is a beautiful city. It's a great place to start. 10 times. The great place to start, like go move in like your 20s, like not a city that's too big. Because I feel like Houston might be too much for a younger person, too carried away, too much to do. Charlotte's a great city, but I say all the time why I don't see myself ever living in Charlotte. It's too slow. It's a bit too slow for me. I just feel like the drive, the hustle and the spirit that people have down here. I don't feel that energy in Charlotte. Like it's very like, it's different. It's not to say it's a bad thing. Everywhere doesn't need to be fast. Charlotte's very slow. Like they don't have a Zara. They don't like they don't like what I mean?
She has four Zara.
Yes, like that just shows you, like, not to say everything's about Zara, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's not slow, it's not progressive enough. Yes, yeah, Adrian, leave her. Then Houston's full, let her stay. Dallas has a large hotel. Okay, yeah, it's everywhere. Yes, thanks for catching our live. I think she's a new subscriber. I'm seeing your comments on our videos. Thanks for catching our live. Make sure you like it. Houston is soon to overtake Chicago based on population growth, so they're taking advantage of hiking prices. Yes, everyone's coming here. Chicago's number 3, the largest city.
Why are people in Chicago's cold?
Chicago's number 3. I want to go to Chicago.
Yeah, a lot of people are leaving Chicago.
It's New York, LA, Chicago, Houston. What's number 5? I can't remember what number 5 is. Sam, is it in Cali? Only thing, yes, Island Parkway. That's where everyone. Yes. When you're driving through there, you see that it's pretty there. And I think it's another view. I think closer to like the River Oaks there when I'm driving.
It's really like dingy.
Yeah, like it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. People be 30 plus and still part new 6 nightclub just like Atlanta, Georgia. Some people, it doesn't get tired. They don't get tired. So what areas would you suggest young women to move to Houston? That's a loaded question. I would need to know what you like to do. Do you work from home? Are you driving in somewhere? What your budget is?
Give us some more details.
Yeah, what your budget is, because of course your budget is going to determine a lot. Do you like driving? Do you not like driving? It depends. I moved to Atlanta in July. I love it. Oh, nice. Where'd you move from? Ngozi. That's your signature look. Bob, look good. Thank you. I didn't have this out. I had to go and straighten it. It took me like 20 minutes. I had to go and get cute for y'all. So thank you. Let me go to your question now.
Scroll down and then we'll come back to the question.
Okay. Hey twins, this episode so cute. Thank you. Chicago is beautiful though, and have some of the. I heard the food is good. You have to go during the summer. Yeah, it's down to cool weather. Philly is 5th, really? Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, let me go to the next question. What are 1-bedroom apartment prices in Houston versus Charlotte, like an uptown South End apartment?
So, Mia, if you compare, like the list I had was like a lot of 1-bedrooms in like the good areas without a special, like 2,200, 2,300
for 1-bedroom,
2,100, like like 700-ish, like the normal amount. So I feel like I just feel like Charlotte's, even South and Uptown, those prices maybe used to be the norm, but right now I feel like things have dropped. And I do think Charlotte in general has dropped because I think people are not moving, or is it that a lot of people are leaving?
Yeah.
Or they built too many apartments.
Yeah, it's a combination.
It's a combination of those 3. But I've noticed, like even my apartment complex right now, since like I was so tight, I'm stuck in this lease. Since summertime, and y'all know summertime is when prices are usually the highest. Since summer, my current apartment is cheaper than what I pay, and I started off really low. And right now, my current apartment is like $150 less a month than what I pay. And that's since summer, I've noticed it being at least like $100 less. That's unusual. So I think in general with Charlotte, I just think the apartment prices in general have kind of gone down. I think it's the 3 reasons: either people are not moving as much, people are leaving, or they just built too many apartments. So if you look at the average apartment, like in Uptown South End, 1-bedroom, I think it is around 2,000 for sure, like 2,000, 2,100.
For a relatively new building?
Yeah, I think it is around the same, but I think Houston still, I was expecting Houston to be cheaper. Yeah. I was expecting Houston to be on the same level as Charlotte, but I still think Charlotte's lower right now. If I was to compare like the same, like, the best neighborhood, because the most expensive neighborhoods in Charlotte, well, apartment wise, I would say the most expensive neighborhoods, the apartments with the high rises, usually is Uptown and South End. So if I compare that to like the 2 expensive, I still think Uptown and South End, you could get more for your money now than the areas that she showed me on the list in Houston. I was like, what, 2,300? 2,200, 1-bedroom, 700 square feet. I was like, wow, Houston, wow. Like, I just wasn't expecting that. I mean, I know I don't live in a high rise right now, right? So I'm not comparing it to me. I'm comparing it to like newer apartments that I look at. Like even down here, there's a lot of Hanovers, but there's a new Hanover that just made a complex in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's like basically like Dilworth, but like right by Uptown. So I'm gonna go and look on their. I know they have specials right now, but I want to tour their apartment. So watch out for that soon. But I know that's like a really, really good complex. So I think Charlotte also, the issue that it's still growing, right? So somewhere like Houston, they've already established their name. They already established people want to be in Houston. I still think Charlotte has to do more to prove that they are worthy of people coming and staying.
Like getting a Zara.
Yeah, like they have to do more. And I just feel like sometimes they're just dragging their feet. They're moving like really, really slow. And maybe it's on purpose. Some people don't want it. They feel like it being more progressive, like it more expensive. Maybe that's not what the natives want, because to be honest, if more people could move into your city, it does make it hard on the people that live there. It makes the houses more expensive. It makes the apartments more expensive. It increases traffic. So I don't think every city really wants to be up there. I think that's just a reality. I don't think
This is crime.
exactly. I don't think every city. I think Charlotte kind of likes its pace. Like it's not slow, but it's not.
Thanks, Justina.
Thank you.
Well,
I think Charlotte likes the pace that they're at. Like the airport is growing. I feel like they like knowing that. I'm speaking like Charlotte's a human, but I feel like Charlotte, they like being like out there that people are hearing about them, but they don't want to be a big city. That's just my honest opinion. Or I think they'll be moving a bit quicker. They'll work on their food. They'll work on being more cultured. They'll work on just basic things. I just feel like they don't really want to be a big city. That's not what they want. They still want that small country vibe, small town vibe, and that's what it is, you know. So you got to do what works for you.
So, what do you like about Houston?
I like that it's cultured. I think that's the number one thing that I would say I would like versus living in Charlotte. Like it's very diverse. I like that. I like the weather except for this week. I mean,
It's just airport's closed today, y'all.
yeah, it's been cold, but I do like hot air. I feel like Charlotte gets too cold. But I do. Let me know in the comment section. My Duke energy bill last month was $110. Every time around winter, I get two wild bills, like a little over 100. My apartment is 705 square feet. Is that normal for y'all?
And our heat don't be
And my
high.
heat is the highest at 70. When I go to sleep, I put it at 68. When I go to work, I put it down to 65. So I'm just like, why is my bill so high? Is that, and I just don't like the fact that Duke Energy is the only people we can choose
we have
from.
the power to choose.
Yeah, like Texas is like their own country. Like we go only. So I just think Duke Energy. I'm just like, why is my bill so high? That's the only thing I don't like about Charlotte. I feel like but it is good you get the all 4 seasons, but I can do without a winter.
Yeah.
I can do without winter or like a really light. I want it to be like my winter to be 50s.
Yeah.
50s with sunlight. That's the winter I want. Or maybe at the lowest. I don't want like tomorrow. I'm looking. It's like the lowest 16, the highest 30.
That's crazy. Yeah, we're gonna tackle this one. I'm hearing more younger women say they are looking to leave Houston because the dating sucks. Let me tell y'all. I said it in my video. We made a TikTok that went viral before I moved here. Once I moved here, I learned real quick. I say it all the time. I say it in my videos. Do not move anywhere as a woman with the hopes of with the sole hopes of finding a partner. I think it's very dangerous. Let me tell you, I said at the time, I've had my good, I've had my bad. I have stories. Okay. But with all that being said, don't let people scare you. It can get a little, nowhere is easy. The issue in Houston is that you'll see the men. Seeing the men is not the problem. And them spending is not the problem. The problem is them being serious, or you having them by yourself, and them being single. That's the problem. That's number one problem is them being single, because they can be serious, but they're not single. So the number one problem is them being single and them being honest about being single. That's the problem, because the thing is that even I remember I met a subscriber. I have been watching. I can't remember his name. I have to go on Instagram. I met him at an Afrotech event when he was in Houston. He was really cool. He was telling me how the girls in Charlotte can't dress. He was so like an all like, oh, Houston, the women. And
from Charlotte?
Yeah, he lives in Charlotte. He's been there for a while. So it's like also like us, if you're not a man and you're not from here, you're not used to seeing beautiful women all the time. Houston has that, like just from the
really. I've never seen that special being.
Okay,
maybe you didn't take me. To
you don't go out, yeah. But Houston has a lot. I say all the time. I've gone to events and like took videos for my guy friend. You need to come out. Like look at these. Like it's like I've been in a section, seen a section of just fine, like literally 15 women just sitting at an event. There's a lot of women down here. So I think that's another factor. It's everywhere, but are they out there and are they as like, it's kind of how people say like in Atlanta, like, are they out there and are they like well put together and are they like, you know what I mean? Like, but there's a lot of like beautiful women down here, like really beautiful, well put together women down here. So I think that, a lot of the men get very distracted versus you go somewhere with like a Charlotte or like another city that's not as big. They get distracted by saying they don't have as many options. Or, you know what I mean? That's the point I'm making. But, the women on here also have a bad reputation, like the money too much, not wanting to work, being bottle girls, not having real jobs, blah, blah, blah. So, it goes both ways. But as a woman, you shouldn't be finding men here. Let them find you. Yeah, I agree. But you can also place yourself. I guess that's what when some women have this idea of, placement. I understand location is definitely a factor. I'm not going to act like it's not a factor. Like I remember living in New Jersey, you wouldn't even see like socially it was just so difficult. So you know what I mean? So like I understand that location is a factor, but it's not the end all be all. Like don't move somewhere thinking, oh, I'm going to find a man. You're going to be disappointed. You might be disappointed because it's hard everywhere. Women are struggling everywhere. The women in Houston are looking for the same men that you're moving here to look for. But what I can say is that the benefit of being the new girl or moving to a new
You be like
place,
the new girl. That's crazy.
being the new girl is that you see things from a different. It's a good and bad thing. There's a level of naivety you have, right?
Mhm.
And let's be honest. Think about relationships. Even thinking about relationships to work to an extent, there's a level of naivety that's kind of good
Mhm.
in the sense that you don't know too much.
Yeah, sometimes my daughter get
You
married by
see this
30.
person, oh, I know this guy. He dated 3 of my friends. Oh, he did this and that. I know he did this in 1996. You know too much about them. You know what I mean? Like as a new person, you're coming in with like this fresh set of eyes, and like you don't have everyone's back history. You don't look
Mhm.
at people the same way.
Yep.
For men and women, that's why to me it's always a red flag. Men and women, stop saying you don't date people in your city. It's a red flag. If I meet a guy and he say he don't date girls in the city, it's a huge red flag to me. It means to me that he either has messed with other girls in the city or the girls in the city don't want to mess with him because something is wrong with him. That's how I look at it. There's too many. Houston has what 2.4 million people. There's too many people for you to say that you don't date people in your city. But I understand why people get to that point because they've been somewhere so long and everyone is kind of
knows
like
your-
old to, especially in a
Mhm.
certain community, like a Nigerian community, or like even as
You
being
know,
in a
it's
black
like that when I
community.
talk to my coworkers who are not Nigerian, they'd be like, "Yeah, like being coming on from a small town in like North Carolina or South Carolina,
Everyone knows
each
everyone,
other.
right?
Everyone grew up
Everyone
with each
knows everyone's
other.
business. Everyone knows everyone. So it's like, So I definitely could say with that, but don't feed too much into the negativity. But yeah, don't move somewhere, anywhere, solely thinking like it's gonna be just so. That's not how life works. I work from home. I don't mind driving. My budget's like 1.6K. I'm so sure enjoying going on to it. Okay, 1.6K is a decent budget. So
She gave me 3 apartments on our list that only fall into your budget with specials. So if they renew, you're gonna pay more than 1.6K.
yeah, but you don't have to live in those areas. Yeah, let's say I don't know where you're also coming from too. So like let's say that's another factor too. If you're someone that's coming maybe from somewhere that's a little slower,
Mhm. You
you
could
will
live
not
more on the
mind living
outskirts.
further away. Like my first
I'm
place,
ready to even live
the
on the
first
outskirts.
place where I lived like in Energy Court. I did not like the area. It was too far out. Getting out with traffic was too much. It was too suburban. It was like families. I did not like the area. But some people may like the area.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it was very affordable. For what I was, it was affordable compared to what I'd be paying for the same space and the same type of setup here.
Let's have a question about this work from home real quick. Maybe we'll cut this part of the live. If you work from home, is it more important to be in the city or is it less important because you're not going to be driving out with
I
traffic?
think it's low key kind of more important. You know why? Because I feel like if you work from home, you need to have a more robust social life to compensate for not going into work. So if you have you need to, like I said, you need to make up for like on weekends, evenings, go out. If you're so far, you want to go to happy hour, it's going to take you 45 minutes to get there during traffic time. It's more of a hindrance not to go out.
Mm.
It's more unless you're someone
But
who's
how
really
often
about
are
it.
you really going to go out realistically?
And I
Once or
that
twice
okay,
a week?
even forget that part. Remember, you're coming to somewhere like Texas is very big. Even Houston zip codes that are further out get very suburban.
Mm.
So you sitting in the area by yourself in somewhere that feels like a suburb, even though you're in Houston, you're like in the suburban part of Houston. Like you're more further out. I feel like I had that experience. It gets very isolating. Like I still would like unless you just don't want to be in the city for the reason like Nana mentioned, the homelessness, crime, all those things. I definitely understand. Price, yeah, you're pushed out because of the cost. I still think it's equally as important to live closer to things,
But I feel
even
like
if you
there's an
work from
in
home.
between the main city and the outskirts. I feel like there's neighborhoods like I would consider in Charlotte, like they're like the in betweens, right? You're not necessarily in the outskirts. You're not in Katy, right? You're not outside of Houston. You're still going to be in Houston, but aren't there some neighborhoods that you still be in Houston, but you're not too far from the city, or that doesn't work here because of
The
the
way we
traffic?
refer to it in Houston is outside or inside the loop. So there's a description. I still don't really understand it, but it's like there's a loop. Is it 69? One of these highways. So the idea is that people want to be within the loop. It's like closer, and like outside the loop is a little further. So there are some areas. I know she was telling me about like Independence Heights, some area by 610. I would even say like what would I say like City Center. There are some areas that are not like too far out, but it's not like closer. It's like not as close, like living in Montrose or River Oaks or Midtown or one of those. So we do have those areas. Even technically West Chase or that area is
That's where we went on
technically, yeah, where we
Saturday.
went someplace.
But it was
That's technically,
sketchy.
yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. Everything's a trade-off. It's not like it's just it just has a different feel. Like you're not getting that city feel at all.
Mhm.
You're literally feel like you're like in the suburbs within Houston. You're not getting that city feel.
But
So
is that the suburbs?
it's not this. It's technically it's Houston. It's
You're
a
right.
Houston zip code, but it's still like being like in a more suburban part of Houston versus being like in Midtown. So
Yeah, Houston's layout is kind of strange.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep going through these comments. Thank you guys all so
You
much
went
for
to Marissa?
joining. Yes, I'm gonna go to Marissa next. Oh my God, wait, you guys are together
she's
in a
your
matching
mom.
outfit. Yes. Hey, Marissa, I remember you. You're from somewhere in West Africa, right? Yana, the dating sucks. Don't listen to people. If you want to
Look,
move,
Miss
move.
Lovey she responded to me. I give you yes everywhere. Where in America are women saying that dating is good? Let's be real. We're on social media online. Where are women making videos like you need to move here, girl? You're gonna have two husbands. You're gonna be even fighting. They're gonna be fighting for you. Only place I even heard that's slightly ever before is kind of like Austin. And I remember, yes, because there's a tech center, especially like for Black people. There's not a lot of Black people there, so the Black women stand out a lot. And even then,
it's bad for Black
yeah,
women.
exactly. So like, where are women not quote unquote having challenges to dating? It's everywhere. I know there are about 8 or more times in Houston, so Charlotte has none.
One is coming this year.
None. We
South Park Mall.
was in the mall yesterday. None. Like, come on now, Charlotte. Not even just Charlotte, the whole North Carolina.
Right.
So it's not even just Charlotte. Raleigh don't have it. Greensboro don't have it. Like,
I mean, if Charlotte don't have it, they're not gonna have it. I thought dating would be better in Texas because there are more options of men. I think okay, that's different. I definitely think I always tell people this, right? I definitely feel like being somewhere in Texas, like Houston or Dallas. I think dating. When we say better, what do we mean? Because some women claim that you can have good dating and still not be married. I don't really believe that. I feel like if you're dating well, you'll be married.
That's not true.
I believe if you're, I find it hard. I find it, and maybe this is just Nigerian in me. I find it strange. Or women like, I have all these great dating experiences. Oh my God, it's been so amazing, but you're still not married. If that's the goal, if that's what you want, right? Because I know everyone doesn't want that. But I definitely feel like being in Texas, I do think if you're looking at dating better as far as like meeting more people, I think it would be better. Because I definitely feel like the culture down here and just the way people move, it's just that I don't know if these people are serious. I don't know if it's going to be long term. I don't know if they're ready to get married, but I definitely feel like if I was living in Houston, I would be dating way more than I do in Charlotte, North Carolina. For sure. Definitely. Like the mall, we went to the mall yesterday on a Monday. Okay. Like they are down here. Like Charlotte is not, it's not like that. They just look at you.
What you say is in Dallas too, Miss Lovely.
She was talking about in Dallas. She talked about this. I think about the single men, the married men acting single.
It's everywhere. Every major city is there.
That's what they told me. It's a lot of men out there dating everyone. They don't want to settle. I don't look for men, but I'll put myself in the right place. Amen.
To be found.
So we talked about what's so special, Zara? Charlotte has none. Oh, this is a repeat. Zara just an early good store. She said, I definitely want to be in the city. I definitely recommend remote working by yourself, no family, to live in any city you move to.
Because you want to get that real city experience. Because you move somewhere, like I said, same for me coming from up. And like I said, it's different if you I don't want to be driving. Yeah, like it's different if you move somewhere you're used to being in the suburbs. You want, but especially living by yourself. It's not like you're moving here with someone, you have a roommate, maybe you're a family member. Right. Like living in those areas, it's just like I wouldn't for a younger person. It's different if you have kids. You know what I mean? You're older. I met a subscriber.
Or even I think it'd be better if you were going into work.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I feel like it even makes more sense for people going into work to live further because they just there to watch one show and go to bed. But it's like you're sitting there all day, like in your apartment. Like I want to be able to look out my window and see something decent. I know we don't have the best views. At least be able to see people walking. At least be able to, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be in the middle of nowhere. Like nah.
Adrian says South Med Center. Is he talking about areas that are like still in Houston, but not
but not like
too far?
Not too far. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know the area.
Look at him telling you he's been here how long?
My bag.
I better get it. What's why is
he doing that sometimes? 6. Why is it not clicking?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go on. So yeah, so I'm just gonna keep going through the comments.
Okay. When I visited Houston, I felt like energy corridor was close to most things. The thing is, the energy corridor, the term is used a bit loosely. So when people told me move to energy corridor, I was in Dairy Ashford and Eldridge. So 753A or B. That place from where I am now with no traffic is 30 minutes.
Wow, that's far.
With traffic is 50 minutes to an hour. And I'm very close to things right now. I'm in Montrose area. So that it depends. Like I don't know, depending on maybe the things you're going to, it's closer to Katy. It's closer to like the southwest part of Houston. But in terms of being close like the downtown area, I was far out. So I know energy corridor, yeah, that term it encompasses, I don't know like where it ends and where it stops, but I was there, Derry Ashford, Eldridge. It was too far for me. Way too far. Yeah, 610 is a loop. Yeah, it is. I agree, Ngozi. Working from you used to have plenty of social activities in proximity where you live. Yes, because you're already by yourself in an apartment, which is kind of not
And then
normal
it's
all
so like
day.
me getting out these days, I'm so lazy.
Right.
So if I know I have to go, but some people, I'm telling you, the most street people I've met have lived in the suburbs. So some people, if they're really
But that's
about the
usually
street
men.
life,
That's men.
yeah.
That's right.
If they're about the
If
street
men,
life,
even they live
45
even
minutes
if
not
they
stopping
live in
them.
freaking Rosenberg, they be driving to the club
It's
and
not
running
gonna
away
stop
from
them.
their
For
wives.
me,
So
I definitely feel like what's most important to me, when I noticed I started going out more was me going to remote life from being in person. 'Cause when I was working Monday through Friday, 8 to 5,
you
you're
don't
not
have
gonna
the
catch me
energy.
nowhere during the week.
You tired. I'm ready to go
No.
home and rest, eat, rest, and go to bed.
But when I started working remote streets, and then also I was living in the city streets, then also I met more people streets. So there's
Let's
so
talk about
many
the meeting more people
factors.
factor, right? Because I think I talked about this in my video. I gotta watch the video I put out. It's not getting enough traction.
Oh,
It's
that's
actually a
pretty
really
good.
good
It's about
video.
3,000K.
I feel like it should be more. That should have been like in day 2 because it's a good video.
Which on January is slow on YouTube.
Yeah, it is. Recover from December. But I say all the time. That's why I talk about even moving somewhere. Nana always says, only thing she'll consider moving to Houston is because I'm here.
That's it.
The reality is
That's
that
it.
all these cities, there's differences, yes, but they also are very similar. A big bulk of your experience anywhere is the people.
Facts.
It's the people. If I was still, I said all the time, but Jersey, I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't like the weather. But if all my cousins were still there, if all my friends were still there, if my twin didn't run away, I would still be in New Jersey.
I ran away, but did you follow me to where?
Yeah, I would still be.
I ran.
I would still be. I would still be.
So don't
I would still be in New
Don't
Jersey.
at me because if I was actually ran to Charlotte,
I would still be in New Jersey. I'm telling you, who you know is very important. It shapes your experience greatly. So I feel like I say all the time, me personally, I don't recommend moving somewhere you don't know anybody. I don't. Unless you're moving for college or a full-time in-person job. A full-time in-person job or school. I don't recommend it because starting all over again, meeting people again, I can't even imagine. Next month is 3 years, y'all. For people just joining, make sure you like this video, subscribe. We're going long. We here for y'all. We matching. We need some super chats. We need some appreciation.
Liking is enough.
In the snow, we put on this makeup in the snow, in the cold. It's snowing outside. We put on this makeup for y'all. I say it all the time. For me I know what I did to have the life I have here in Houston almost 3 years next month. For me to do this again, even for my husband, I don't know if I can do it.
Really?
I'm telling you, I don't. That's why I don't believe in long distance. I don't like long. Me personally, I don't like long distance. Even in a different state, city, I don't like it because I have to also think.
Moving is a big deal.
I also think about
I people 5 years, y'all. Anyone? I'm so sorry to cut you off. I just joined Threads a few weeks ago. I really, really like it. Maybe because I really did used to like Twitter back in the day. I'm telling you guys to join. If y'all see Charlotte Threads, I need friends. Been here 3 years. I don't have friends. I'm just like, is this normal or is this just a Charlotte thing? The way people on Threads looking for friends, and it's not like these people moved a week ago or moved a month ago. People are living in cities for years and they have still not met their tribe. They still have no sense of community. And they've been so what in Ngozi, I can see what she's saying because it's like
even from I can think right now, if I go meet a guy and he live in Tennessee, I've asked myself, in Ngozi, can you live in Tennessee? Because the reality is that
I can live anywhere if he's serious.
I'm saying, listen, the reality is that number one, men don't move for women. That's just the truth. It's rare. Men don't move for women. So you're gonna be the one to have to uproot your life and uproot everything to be with somebody. So that's something you have to really consider. I don't want to be jumping up and all around. I don't want to be restarting my life again, meeting people again, getting to know people. Like it's a lot. It's a lot of work. So I say personally, if you do not move to a city you don't know at least one person. At least one person,
preferably 2
or 3, right? But at least one. Unless you really have that personality.
You got to be like me.
You have to be really, you got to be really extroverted, social, mixy, ready to push them out there. You are going to be miserable. You're not going to have a good time.
Don't blame the city.
Don't blame the city. Too many people, I said, they're too quick to blame all the city. I watched all these videos while I left Houston and all.
People really have a lot of bad things to say about Houston?
No, not to say negative. A lot of the people, some people left, ended up coming back. A lot of videos that I've watched, main reason why they left, they usually leave also quickly, right? Within a year, which we said at the time. I watched
can you
one
talk
girl's
about what
video.
that guy, her uncle said?
I want to shout her out because her video was really good, and I commented on. She's a trucker and she lives in Houston. She makes some good content. She was saying like, don't move to Houston because of the nightlife. I never thought about like people really move to a city because of the nightlife, but yeah, like people will be like, yeah, I want to have fun, I want to be lit. You know what I mean? So she said her uncle told like you need like what 4 to 5 years to live in a city,
especially
really
if you moved in
build like a community.
I agree,
and like
with
really get to like really like have like a solid footing in a city. You need like 3 to 5 years, 4 to 5 years, and I agree. What's her name? Is it Yana something? I'm trying to find her name.
Go to your like
yeah, I'm going to my history. Yeah, but like I said, location is important. Yeah, but it's really your.
I think number one is your community.
It's your community. I'm telling you, you could be in the middle of nowhere. I have my cousins, I have my sister, I have my. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna, of course, yeah, other places would have more fun, but we're not gonna be miserable. You know what I mean? Because you have people that you know, that you trust, you can go out with, that you can do things with. This, I feel like a lot of times, what's her name? Oh, Queen P Baby. Queen P Baby. If you're thinking about moving to Houston, she has a lot of videos. She's a trucker. She has some good content. But a lot of times people get so stuck on the city, and it's like even if you don't even if you don't in the most lit city and you don't know anybody, what are you gonna be doing? And this is coming from someone that goes out by yourself. It gets tired. You're not gonna go everywhere by yourself. It gets tiring.
So I think 5 years is good, especially for people like me that moved during the pandemic. Because if you moved during the pandemic, the first year and a half, I really didn't do much. The first year plus, I didn't do much because a lot of things are closed. It was a very weird time. So I think I definitely think I agree with that. I never heard anyone say that, but I think it really makes sense. Community takes time. It really takes time. I would say 4 to 5 years is a good amount of time. If you've been somewhere 4 to 5 years and you still don't like it, get out of there.
Right, you're never gonna like it.
I would say 4 to 5 years is good.
Maybe 3.
Yeah,
if you hate somewhere, like I feel like you can move somewhere really know you don't like it.
Right, I don't think you need 5 years.
I don't think you need 5 years to really know. But if you're just like, oh, and also why you don't like going back to the point, a lot of the people that moved is because they didn't have friends. They were very lonely. They were homesick. They weren't meeting people. They weren't building those connections. Like Nnena said on Threads, a lot of people are looking for community.
It's crazy.
I tell you, when I first went to Houston, I was in a Facebook group, everyone crying, I need a friend. I need best friends. I need people who are real. I need people who are not fake. Every second, girls are crying. I'm like, y'all grown-ass women keep crying about making friends. Like, this is crazy, but now I understand. Like, that a lot of people moved in the pandemic. Meeting people was very challenging, So I know people who have moved to Houston same time with me, they already have best friends here. Like they have people that are very close to them, because the reality is that like you're older, you don't need as much time as you needed at maybe
like dating.
It's like dating, right? You right now people
sift out real quick, get vibe.
Right, you pick up now. This is my girl. We met. Oh no, this person's shady. This person's sneaky. This person is weird. This person's energy. Like you don't need that much time to like make friends.
Okay. So real quick, can we talk quickly before we go back to the comments? Can we talk about ways to build community in a new city that you would suggest?
Okay. Especially for work from home people. We have a special segment.
Part of that gang.
Right. The reality is that at this point in your lives, you're not in college, you're in high school, you're not somewhere where you're around a lot of people all the time. You have to be more intentional about meeting people and building relationships, building friendships, right? So me personally, I say all the time, you have to be a part of something. You got to be a part of something that meets at a cadence. Is it weekly? Is it bi-weekly?
Okay.
Is it monthly?
Merriam-Webster.
That's the reality, because even when people talk about like even dating and meeting people, someone can see you 1 or 2 times and not come up to you. But they keep seeing you. They start feeling comfortable. They start watching you. They start saying, oh, is she single? Is she with a guy? You know what I mean? Like they start getting they must have that courage to approach you. So you have to be a part of a community. You have to join, whether it's a sport, whether it's a church, whether it's a book club, whether it's an organization on a national level.
That's what I've been forgetting. I can't believe I'm still not a part of any organization.
Yeah, it needs to be a part of whether it's an organization related to your work and you have a chapter in your city, whether it's a social organization related to like interest, something you're passionate about. You have to be a part of
volunteering.
You have to, because just meeting people on the whim, even your apartment has activities, go to them. That's what I said. Also,
my apartment, I'm gonna send an email to my apartment tomorrow. I've been there almost 5 years. We have not one.
Like I've met girls in my apartment and we're cool. Like they come to my apartment from events that we had in our apartment. Like we cool. Like we go to gym, work out together. Like you need to go out your way at this age to make friends.
A store, one of your favorite
anywhere,
stores.
Yeah. Like you have to be intentional. And I feel like that's a part of the reason why everyone's crying as adults about friendships and not meeting people, because we have to put in more work. versus when you're younger, you just see somebody in the class and like, oh, hey, what's your
every day
name?
at school.
It's convenient. Right now, in this point in life, friendships are not convenient. They're not, especially if you're someone that's not making work at friends. We used to have this argument
work at
all the
friends, making
time.
friends at work.
Making friends at work. I make some good, cool friends at work. You can make friends
A
at
lot
work,
of it's due to convenience.
but out of it's convenience. Not like I'm not people you work with after work. You guys don't talk.
But one thing, the caveat I gave is that especially people moving to new cities, I've noticed they really do make friends at work. Because when you'll notice is that, like, even for example, at where I work, someone will leave and the person and them are still talking. So that shows it's not convenience.
Yeah.
Because now that person doesn't work there anymore, but they're still very close.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like as someone that's moving to a new
transplant.
city, and I remember my cousin gave me this advice, and I think, you know, she gives really good advice.
She get the best advice. They didn't get the best advice.
Like, only I didn't listen to her. She told me when I got that really good apartment, you know, transparency, got my first apartment around $1,200 a month, uptown. She told me sign the longest lease. I was like, no, I'm scared.
You don't like it.
That's not shit.
If I would have signed 15 months in my first apartment, I would have been like losing my mind. I was counting down to those 12 months.
So I was like, no, I'm scared. So I did 12. I ended up loving it. Trying to renew, they tell me $1,379. Mind you, back then that's still a joke. But to me, I'm just like, huh? How you gonna increase my rent by $200? You know, but you know, she gives good advice. And she's telling me when I was moving, should I get an in-person job? This is the pandemic. Do not look for work from home, work in person. And literally my coworkers from my first job, one of them I've talked to like 2 times in the last 2 days. So like I do believe that, like, because his laughing at our conversations, like you can make friends at work, but I also agree with him because a lot of times it's just they're just
and it shouldn't be your only friends,
acquaintances.
Yeah, and I feel like it could get a little messy. People become a little too nosy. It's too much politics in the workplace, especially these female jobs with too many women. Like you still have to be a little, careful. But you can make friends at work for sure. Okay, let's go through these comments and we're gonna see if anyone wants to join. Charlotte is a facade. It's not a bad city, but it's expensive. It doesn't give big city vibes. And that's then they don't talk about Houston being expensive. Charlotte, when that tells about this, remember we don't pay state income tax here. You pay tax on your car. You guys pay tax for the salaries for what they're paying people. Even Mia said that before. Charlotte's expensive for what they're paying.
I think that's expensive. Why their prices are going down.
Okay, I used to live on Eldridge Parkway by the Energy Corridor. Now I live in Memorial and Woburn up at the best decision. Really, how do you feel about it? What makes it a good decision? Why do you like it? The circles are small. A lot of people know each other, especially if you're from South Carolina, North Carolina. I'm like a mile from Memorial Park. Oh, nice. Yeah, see, moving and not finding community is crazy. I can't imagine how lonely
that's a lot of people leave.
They end up going back. Not they don't like the city, but they didn't experience the city in the way that they could have because they don't have the people to experience it with. What are desired locations? Oh, shop about that. Okay. Baby. Are there any cities in the U.S. that are really safe, comfortable, and balanced for Indigenous Black women? I wonder. I don't know. Yana. Okay, I don't know who this is. Okay. I have visited and lived in a few places, and I'm feeling like the energy is off in lost places. I don't feel comfortable in places, and I'm not a scary person. I mean, maybe this city life is not for you. Have you tried visiting like more of the suburban areas, or like, like I said, cities are not for everyone. Especially at a certain point in your life, I totally get why people are like, yeah, I can't live in the city. Like, I'm not into it. Is the good and bad. It comes with certain things, right? Like, the crime and all. The crime is everywhere, but of course, it's concentrated closer to like cities. There's more people. There's there's a reason why. But yeah, like I said, America as a state, I noticed that a lot of us as a country, a lot of us Americans, we don't travel enough within America. Like we're so quick to get on a plane and go like to another country and be like, oh, there's nothing. Like America is so big and there's so much to offer. Literally every state is like its own country. So I don't believe that there's nowhere, like that you can't find that you would feel safe or that you would like, because maybe you just don't know it or you haven't been there yet. But there's so much to see. And that's why I like Texas. As just personally, I said all the time, I don't plan on moving, but if I was to move, it most likely would be somewhere else in Texas. I don't see myself living in Texas. I don't, like, anytime soon. Never say never. Like, I'm open, but I don't see myself just packing my bags, being like, yeah, I'm just gonna move to another state. Other than New Jersey, like I don't see myself.
I like DMV, but I don't have family there.
Yeah,
it's cold. I really don't want to be in the cold. But if I had to, I think I'll be okay. But especially once The more I stay away from the cold, the less I can tolerate it.
And
Like
then
even
you see what she was
Charlotte,
wearing today. I'm like, "Nana, you're not cold." I had on this jacket. I had on like 2 layers, a turtleneck, this and that. She was wearing like
Charlotte's
short sleeve.
cold.
I'm just like, "You're not cold," because I let my heat get down to like 69. Like I turned up the heat yesterday because I want to make sure it's not in like my head. Like I'd be feeling like super cold. And I'm like, wow, like my body, like she mentioned, is probably really just not used to cold anymore because I haven't been in a cold
Charlotte
environment.
get cold. I took last year. My coworker via online. I made like a work bestie. She was like, change your lotion, and that's what saved me. I went and got the Aquaphor, the
The
thick
ointment
one
one.
ointment, because my skin was like feeling crazy. She was like, it's
That's
probably
what I
it
use
was.
now.
Charlotte gets cold. It gets cold. Gets cold.
Okay, yeah. I'm saying America being so big, so much to see. I have a list of all the places in America that I want to go to. I'm just like, when am I going to get to all these places? So many major cities. I haven't been to Miami, y'all. Miami, I've been to Miami.
I want to go like.
I have not been. I
tomorrow.
said I haven't been to Chicago. Like there's so many
Really?
major cities. Yeah,
I mean, because you're always out the country.
yeah. So I'm like, I need to stop jumping up around the world and just travel.
Start with Austin.
Start with a. Yeah, I heard they have the bean. I always hear about the bean, all of that.
The pizza was hitting.
Yeah.
Ooh, that deep dish.
Scottsdale, girl. Arizona's another one on my list.
I like Arizona.
Carefree, Sedona. No, I want to go to Arizona, but the summer they say stay away from the summer. It gets really hot and like humid. But now I was even checking to go around this time. It's too cold, still a little too cold. So like, there's so many states in America I want to visit. I really would consider moving to Texas because there's just so many cultures there and so much to do. Yeah, where are you now, Naima? Yeah, that's the thing. With Texas is very diverse. There's a lot of people especially Houston, a lot of people from everywhere.
And there's so many major cities you could find something.
Right, whether it's San Antonio, like the top
Dallas.
10 most like biggest cities in America, like 4 of them are in Texas. Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Fort Worth is even top.
Is it
Fort Worth was like 12.
Dallas?
No, that's what I'm saying. They have the same airport, but Fort Worth is technically different from Dallas. That's what I'm telling you. People be saying Houston spread out. I personally feel like Dallas is even more spread out because of that / Fort Worth, and they kind of jumble it together, but they're kind of like not the same. So yeah, anyone want to join and talk about the experience, either living in Houston? We're gonna get ready to wrap up soon. We just wanted to come here live since we're in person. We've got the 2 screens. Bless y'all with our presence on this cold Houston snow day where everything has shut down, including the airports. Yeah, she always trying to get out. That's why I said I'm not even talking
about. That's me too. That's the 2025 because also there's some haters. Like they just, I feel like I work really well when people doubt me. Mm-hmm. I notice that if someone says I'm not going to do something, they drive me to like really do it. So sometimes it is good to, but sometimes like, you know what? Let me work. And that's 1 year. I need to work on I'm organized, but being more planning I have friends that have a calendar of their weekends and it's like I'm not like, but I realize that's why I'd be bored.
Yep.
I need to say
if
every
you fail to plan, you plan.
I need to say, okay, this month is Charleston. This month is Asheville.
Hotel.
This month is Outer Banks. This is no excuse. I've been in Charlotte for almost 4.5 years. I have not been to any beaches. That's ridiculous. Not even Myrtle Beach.
You like the beach,
and I love the beach. But it is kind of far. I'm not gonna lie, it's like Atlanta distance. So that is, I'm pretty sure it has to be a weekend trip. It has to be a weekend trip. Starting with Charleston's number 1. I'm like, I am tired of myself. I'm tired of myself.
I think mid-sized cities, close to major cities, are the way to go for those who don't like big cities.
Like Charlotte
is affordable, and when you want to travel to larger areas, it's like 1 to 2 hours.
Would you describe would you consider Charlotte a mid-sized city? Because that's what I would be thinking.
Yeah, and Austin's a big on tech with the Black Youth. That's where the big seminar for tech is each year. Yeah, but this was in Houston last year. It's going to be in Houston this year, October 27th to the 31st. So if y'all serious, don't be online hating and saying that people are here for dating and getting on my city. If you serious, be in Afrotech. Okay?
Would you recommend OTC over Afrotech? No. Afrotech?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm coming from.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But too, like Houston, like a lot of things happen here. Like there's a lot of major stuff happen. People come in a lot. Like it's always something to do. That's what I would say socially. Like I feel like we even take it for granted. Like you get so used to it that you don't even care. And there's people that come from the outside, like I want to go here. I want to do this. You're like, oh, that place. I haven't even been there like a year. Or this place I haven't been in a year because we have so many options in terms of socially like going out that a lot of other places don't have. I'm in Central Georgia and I'm bored out of my mind because there's not much to do. How far are you from Atlanta? You don't go to Atlanta?
How far are you from Charlotte?
Evie, I know people love Dallas, but I can't see myself living there. It's too clicky for me for what it is. If I'm going to deal with clicks around living
Why
in
are
LA,
people say it's
it's funny. My
everywhere
other
clicky?
friend told me that. I say all the time, we always have our arguments. I know a lot of people feel like Dallas is more upscale, and I get it. And I personally think that people feel like Dallas is more upscale because it's whiter, which it is. I think that's part of it, the unsaid part that people are saying without saying, and that's the truth. Like, I feel like that's technically code for what they're saying when they say that Dallas is a bit more upscale. Because I haven't been to the black upscale areas, and I've been there multiple times. But I hear that a lot. Even I know a YouTuber used to live there, and she left there and went somewhere else. I think we know with the same YouTuber we watched, Kelly Stamps. Yeah, yeah, I heard that a lot about Dallas. I heard that a lot, and I think part of it is that, like I said, maybe it's the setup. Even socially, a lot of people from Dallas stay in Houston every weekend. They love Houston for a turn up. Like Houston, like, I'm talking about Atlanta, is kind of like the place I see why people like visiting it. But living there is a very different experience. It's not the same. But yeah, I could definitely see that. I could live there, but I always say I feel like I would live in Dallas, like as a married woman. I don't see myself going to Dallas as a single person.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know. I think it's just very, I don't know. Uptown, Woodway, Murray areas are prime locations, restaurants, outward day parks. They are close to everything. Memorial Park, Gallery, Uptown, River Oaks, Post. Yeah, these are the areas. Yeah, Memorial Gallery, Uptown Park, River Oaks, Post Oak area. I really like Post Oak. I looked at couple weeks ago, Hanover Post Oak, those prices, my eyes are hurting for those prices. I was like, oh.
Yeah, whatever ones you were sending me the 2 bedrooms for, my eyes were like 3,600.
I like Archie Park to me in Southampton are my favorite Hanover properties. We have those videos on the channel. If you haven't watched, yeah, Hanover has really nice. It's very high.
Quirky teacher, I see what you mean. I honestly kind of understand what you're saying. Like I could see myself moving to mid city.
If in fact, especially if you're not used to big city live, you can control your embrace the city life versus slower, expensive, more living city. I just jumped from a smaller place of living into a major city living, and it's a bit scary. Oh no, I mean like Greenville, South Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, Augusta, Georgia, Asheville, Columbia, and Charleston. Okay.
Those places are slow.
If Charlotte's slow, imagine there. But yeah, like you say, everyone has to know themselves and know what's important to you. The only possible way I will move to Houston is if the cost of living was cut in half or possible dream job offer. Yeah, Houston's a lot of people struggle and talk about the job market. A lot of videos I watch. It's only since I moved here. I moved as a remote worker, so I've never had an in-person job in Houston. So a lot of people talk about us like if you're not like in oil and gas, like in healthcare, the job market could be really challenging. Like a lot of that's why you have like a lot of like these like like that type of lifestyle. Like the service industry is big here. So a lot of people end up like in the service industry where there's like bartending, being a bottle, so yeah, doing that type of stuff because the job market here can be a little rough. I'm about one and a half hours from Atlanta. I work from, so I don't get to go often. But you got the weekends, girl. You're only an hour and a half. You need to be in Atlanta like at least
drive in the same
one
day.
week, yeah, at least 1 week in a month. Naima, no, I'm thinking about to say like 5 hours from Atlanta or like 6, an hour and a half. That's some people live an hour and a half and come in the suburbs of Houston, and they come every night. They be in the club every night.
They're not coming every night.
Every weekend, not every night. Every weekend.
So?
Yes.
An hour and a half is far to do that consistently.
Yeah, Fort Worth recently took the spot from Austin as 11th most populated city. I definitely recommend visiting Chicago as a trucker. I've been to almost all the major U.S. cities except 1 or 2. What's your favorite, Chris? Oh, Chris, I think your DP changed. How you? It's been a long time. I hope you're good. What's your favorite city, Chris, that you visited? Yeah, like Fort Worth. I think people be saying like Fort Worth is big on its own, already a top 15 city. Then Dallas is a top 10 city. That area is very spread out. Like the way people say, like people don't really live in Houston the same. They live in Houston the same thing with Dallas. Like it's so many. There's so many suburbs. It's really big. Dallas is for the married, stay-at-home mother lifestyle. No thoughts about. Yes, that's the vibes. I literally always get those vibes about Dallas. Houston's very flashy, but like they say, you can start a business and be successful there, especially indigenous Black people. Yes, like there's a lot of opportunity here, like for sure. Like, and there's a reason why, despite all of like the negatives, people are still flocking here.
You're just business oriented,
Like crazy. So what college do you all have? Yeah. So yeah, anyone want to join in? Let me share the thing real quick because we about to end up. But just to wrap up, like we say, everywhere has its pros and its cons. Nowhere is perfect. The idea of a perfect city does not exist. You're not gonna like anything about everywhere you live. But I do believe, I remember seeing like a video or something about like how relocating or like moving to a new city is like a legit life hack. Like, I understand why some people are like, yeah, you just need to live somewhere new. Even if you don't stay there, there's no
Mhm.
chance. I say all the time, I renew my Jersey license. It's even coming up a few months. I got to do all these credits for it. I can go back to where I'm from and I wouldn't feel any shame. I wouldn't feel like I didn't succeed. I wouldn't feel as if I didn't, because it's all part of the journey. I can tell my children, oh, I lived in Houston in this part, and this was this cost, and gas was this amount of price. And I used to go here, and look how it looks now. Like, I don't look at it like, oh, because you moved somewhere, you need to have in your mind, it's going to be there forever. It could just be a part of the journey, part of just getting to the destination. But Houston, I always, Houston will always have a special place in my heart.
Mhm.
Houston is a great city, great people, great food, great culture, great energy. Of course, it's not perfect. It's things like the parking, the bugs, the section culture. That's every major city now, going out and all that stuff that I would change if I could. But I like Houston, and I don't see myself going
Do you
anywhere
think it's
except for.
also just used to it? Because you move here and you just like even the things that other people see, you won't necessarily see them.
No, but like even when I go to the Sims, like it makes me even appreciate Houston more because I'm like, yeah, like I realize how many places don't have what we have. Like just in terms of, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like if maybe part of it we could be just used to certain things. Like people be like, I can't do the weather. Like the
Mhm.
weather doesn't bother me. Like I'm fine with it being 100 degrees. I'd rather it be 100 degrees than be what it is right now any day. I don't mind right now if it's 100. We'll be going out right now. But just now we have to stay in with this makeup because it's too cold to go anywhere and everything's probably
Yeah,
shut
I'm not doing
down.
this again.
Yeah, so yeah, passes by, yeah, mega church. The Bay Area is very scenic. Seattle, oh, I'm gonna go to Seattle this year. Miami, I'm gonna try and go this year. And then a few Charleston, South
Charleston, yeah,
Carolina,
I'm gonna
it's
go to
nice as
Charleston in
well.
March when it starts warming up.
Okay, we're finished for Naima. Yes, I've been to Cali. LA
I've been
is
to
so
I've been
beautiful.
to Cali. I've been to Arizona. Those just those two.
Just Cali. Shout out. So heartbreaking what's happening there. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. I'm not sure we're gonna go live next week, but we'll have some videos coming up, some apartment tours. If you're considering moving, relocating, now is a great time. January, February, really good pricing. They're trying to get big quotas, but that they didn't meet by the end of the year.
Really? You think
So
that's it?
yes, February to me is the best month to move. I moved in February and I saw the prices dropping
Yeah.
up
Now
until
I'm seeing
February.
a lot of
Yeah,
vacancies.
February. I moved. I always tell everyone if you can move in February, you stay where you are January, you finish things up, move in February. It's the coldest month in the year.
December's good too.
December's good too, but people still want to get things done before their children go to school and all that stuff. So I feel like February is kind of like random. Like it's like, yeah, and it's cold everywhere. But thank you all so much for watching. You're welcome. The lady that I knew is from outside Chicago moved back to Tommy's very nice Oscars. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like this live, this video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.